My family excluded me and my kids from the family trip I was paying for, after funding their whole lifestyle, because my sister thinks my kids won't fit with hers. So I took my brutal revenge. And now she is begging. Hey everyone! Before we jump into today's video, I need your help. We've noticed the channel is losing some traction, and subscribing is one of the best ways you can support us. It's quick, free, and it helps us keep bringing you awesome content. Your support means the world. Let's keep this channel growing together. Thanks so much. Now let's start the video. Original post. Throw away because this is about to get nuclear, and my family will definitely find this. First, let me paint you a picture of who I am. I'm David, 38 male, senior cloud architect at a Fortune 500 company, pulling in 180K base plus bonuses that push me to around 220K annually. I own my house outright, drive a paid-off truck, and have been financially responsible my entire adult life. I grew up poor as dirt. We're talking government cheese and hand-me-down everything. I swore I'd never be poor again, so I busted my ass through community college, transferred to state school, and clawed my way up the corporate ladder. My wife Jessica died in a workplace accident 18 months ago. Construction site, freak crane malfunction. Whole thing was a nightmare. Left me with 2 kids, Alex, 9 male, and Zoe, 7 female. Jessica was a nurse, salt of the earth type who called bullshit when she saw it. God, I miss that woman. Now meet the villain of our story. My sister Brittany, 35 female. Brittany is what happens when someone is born pretty and decides that's a career plan. She's been an influencer daughter lifestyle blogger for 8 years, which translates to taking pictures of her ass in yoga pants and selling detox tea to desperate housewives. Her business makes maybe $2,000 a month on good months, but she reports much less to the IRS. Brittany is married to Chad, I wish I was making that name up, who's a freelance personal trainer, aka unemployed guy with abs who sells protein powder on Instagram to teenagers. Together they make about $3,500 a month, yet somehow live like they're pulling 6 figures. How? Uncle David, the family ATM. Here's where it gets fucked up. Since Jessica died, I've been hemorrhaging money to keep my family afloat. Parents' mortgage, $1,800 a month. They retired early at 58 because they assumed I'd take care of them. Brittany's Mercedes lease, $350 a month because her brand image requires luxury. Private school for Brittany's twin boys, Dylan and Carter, 7 males, $2,000 a month. Brittany's family grocery bills, approximately $400 per month. They eat organic everything while my kids get store brand. Various emergencies, $200 to $500 per month. New iPhone, vacation deposits, medical bills, car repairs. Total damage last year, $58,000. That's more than most people's entire salary, and I've been bleeding it to support people who treat my kids like invisible furniture. The favoritism is insane. Every family gathering, Dylan and Carter get $200 to $300 worth of gifts each, while Alex and Zoe get $25 Target gift cards. My parents take Brittany's kids to the zoo, museums, special dinners. Meanwhile, my kids ask why Grandma and Grandpa don't want to spend time with them. When Jessica died, you know how much help I got? 0. Not one meal. Not one offer to babysit. Not one person checking if we needed anything. Brittany actually said I was lucky, because now I could focus on my career without distractions. She called my children distractions. But the nuclear bomb that ended everything happened 3 weeks ago. I paid $6,000 for a family cruise to the Caribbean. Flights, cruise, excursions, specialty dining, everything. I was so excited to make happy memories with my kids who'd been through hell. 2 days before we're supposed to leave, Brittany calls. David, we need to talk about the cruise. What about it? Well, Chad and I have been talking, and we think it would be better if this trip was just for the adults and Dylan and Carter. You know, since Alex and Zoe are still processing grief, being around happy families might trigger them. I couldn't speak for a full minute. You want me to stay home from the cruise I paid for? Not stay home. We'll plan something smaller for you and the kids later. Maybe a weekend at a local hotel with a pool? But this cruise is really more of an adult experience anyway. Brittany, there's a kids club on the ship. There are family activities. I specifically chose this cruise for my kids. David, you're not thinking clearly. You're still grieving and not making good decisions for Alex and Zoe. Trust me, they'll be happier staying home. She hung up on me. They went without us. Posted pictures everywhere. My kids saw their cousins snorkeling and swimming with dolphins, while they sat at home eating cereal for dinner because I was too destroyed to cook. Alex asked me why Grandma and Grandpa didn't want them to come on the vacation he helped pay for. Kid's smart. He knows I pay for everything. Zoe cried herself to sleep asking if she did something wrong. Reddit, I'm done. I'm not just cutting them off. I'm going to systematically destroy the lifestyle I built for them and watch them scramble. They want to exclude my kids? Fine. Let's see how much they enjoy being excluded from financial stability. AETA for planning to completely fuck over my family financially? Because I'm about to rain nuclear hellfire down on these people. Update. Holy shit, lots of comments in 2 hours. You guys are as pissed as I am. Time to execute. We'll update tomorrow. Update number 1, posted next day. Reddit, your comments gave me life. Lots of responses telling me to burn it all down. Special shout out to you/revenge is a dish best served cold, who gave me some ideas I hadn't even considered. I spent yesterday evening going through my finances with a microscope. 2 years of bank statements, payment apps, credit card bills, even cash withdrawals. I documented everything I'd given them, including photos of the gifts I bought from my parents to their grandkids. Total financial support since Jessica's death, $87,000. That's not a typo. Nearly $90,000 down the drain to people who couldn't even pretend to give a shit about my children. But here's what I also discovered while going through everything. I have documentation of Brittany committing tax fraud. See, Brittany's been claiming her kid's private school tuition as a business expense for her influencer business. She told me she was homeschooling them for content creation, and the private school was actually business consulting for educational content. Complete bullshit, but she's been writing off $24,000 a year in fake business expenses for the past 3 years. I have text messages where she brags about her amazing accountant who knows how to work the system. I have screenshots of her Instagram posts about homeschooling for my brand, while the kids are clearly in private school uniforms. Phase 1. The money stops. Yesterday morning, I canceled everything. Car insurance on her Mercedes, I was paying it. Phone plan for their family, cut off. Credit card where I was an authorized user, removed myself. Grocery delivery subscription, canceled. Their gym membership, done. Even their fucking Netflix account, bye bitch. Then I called the school and told them I would no longer be paying tuition, effective at the end of the current month. They have a 30-day policy to bring accounts current, or the kids get withdrawn. Then I called my parents' mortgage company and removed myself as an authorized payer. They now have to set up their own payment method. Phase 2. The evidence package. I spent $200 getting everything professionally printed and organized. Bank statements, screenshots, text messages, photos from the cruise. Everything in a nice binder with tabs and dates, like a legal document. Phase 3. The family meeting. I texted everyone. Family meeting tonight at 7 p.m. at mom and dad's. I have important news to share about our family's future. They probably thought I was going to give them more money. The confrontation. I walked in with my binder and a laptop. Everyone was there. Parents, Brittany, Chad, even the kids, which pissed me off, but whatever. I wanted to thank everyone for teaching me an important lesson about family. For 18 months, I thought family meant supporting each other during hard times. I thought it meant treating all children equally. I thought it meant keeping promises to kids who've already lost their mother. The room went dead quiet. But you've shown me that family is actually about financial exploitation and emotional abuse. I opened my laptop and started reading from my spreadsheet. Every payment, every date, every amount. Brittany's face went from confused to pale to red. $87,000. That's what this family has cost me since my wife died. In return, my children were excluded from a vacation they paid for and treated like second-class citizens in their own family. Dad tried to interrupt, but I held up my hand. I'm not finished. Dylan, Carter, I want you to understand something. Every toy you've received, every school day you've attended, every vacation you've been on, Alex and Zoe paid for it. Your Uncle David has been your real dad because your actual dad doesn't work. Chad jumped up. Hey, fuck you, man. Sit down, Chad. Adults are talking. I turned to my parents. Mom, Dad, you've received over $40,000 from me in the past 18 months. When's the last time you bought Alex or Zoe a birthday present? When's the last time you offered to babysit? When's the last time you called them just to talk? Silence. Here's what's happening. Effective immediately, the Bank of David is permanently closed. You have 30 days to figure out your mortgage. Brittany, you have until the end of the month to figure out tuition, or your kids get kicked out of private school. Everyone needs to figure out their own phone bills, car payments, insurance, and grocery money. Brittany started screaming, "You can't do this. We have contracts. We have commitments." Your commitments aren't my problem anymore. I packed up my binder and called Alex and Zoe from the backyard. As we left, Brittany was screaming about how I was ruining innocent children's lives and how Jessica would be ashamed of me. That was yesterday. My phone has been ringing nonstop since. Coming up, Brittany's complete meltdown and the beginning of her downfall. Update number 2, posted 3 days later. Guys, holy shit. The last 72 hours have been absolutely insane. Brittany has completely lost her mind, and I'm here for every second of it. The phone assault. Since Sunday night, I've received 89 phone calls, I counted, 156 text messages, 23 voicemails, 12 emails, 8 DMs on Instagram, 4 messages through LinkedIn. She really got desperate. Here are the highlights. Sunday night voicemails. Crying, begging phase. David, please call me back. We need to fix this. The kids are asking questions. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Just please don't do this to us. Dad is having chest pains. Mom thinks you're giving him a heart attack. Monday morning texts. Anger phase. You're a piece of shit, and Jessica would divorce you if she saw what you've become. My kids are crying because their school called and said they might have to leave. Chad is talking about leaving me because of what you've done to our family. I hope you're fucking happy destroying innocent children's lives. Monday afternoon calls. Bargaining phase. What if I pay you back? I'll get a real job and pay back every penny. We can work out a payment plan. Just don't let the kids suffer for my mistakes. I'll apologize to Alex and Zoe. I'll make it right. Tuesday. Desperation phase. The Mercedes got repossessed this morning. My neighbors saw everything. Chad left. He took his clothes and said he's done living in poverty. I have $47 in my bank account, and the kids need lunch money. Please just answer your phone, we can figure this out. The best part. Wednesday morning, Brittany showed up at my office. At my office. Security called me and said there was a hysterical woman in the lobby claiming to be my sister and demanding to see me. I went down and found Brittany in the same clothes from yesterday. Hair a mess, makeup running. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. David, please. Just 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I met with her in the lobby cafe. Brittany, I fucked up. I know I fucked up. But you can't destroy my whole life over one mistake. Me. One mistake? Brittany, you've been treating my kids like shit for over a year? Brittany, I was wrong about the cruise. I panicked because Dylan gets carsick, and I thought being on a boat? Me. Stop lying. You didn't want my kids there because you thought they'd ruin your Instagram content. She started crying again. Okay, fine. I wanted good pictures. But that doesn't mean you should destroy my entire life? Me. Your life was built on my money. I just took my money back. Brittany. Chad left me. Do you understand that? My husband left me because of you. Me. Chad left you because you can't afford your lifestyle without my money. That's not my problem. Brittany. The twins are asking why they can't go to school anymore. What am I supposed to tell them? Me. Tell them the truth. Tell them Uncle David was paying for their school and you took it for granted. Brittany. I'll do anything. I'll get a real job. I'll apologize to everyone. Me. Brittany. You called my children distractions when their mother died. You excluded them from a cruise they paid for. You treated them like they were worthless for over a year. There's no coming back from that. She grabbed my arm. Please, I'm begging you. I'll lose everything. Me. Good. I walked away and left her crying in the lobby. The ripple effects. Dylan and Carter got pulled from private school at the end of the month. They're now enrolled in the same public school Alex and Zoe attend, which is actually pretty good, but Brittany acts like it's prison. Brittany had to move back in with our parents because she can't afford rent. Chad is apparently taking a break from their marriage and staying with his gym buddy. My parents are panicking about the mortgage, and Dad applied for a part-time job at Walmart. Brittany started a GoFundMe titled Single Mom Needs Help After Family Betrayal. It's raised $73 in 3 days. The kids. Alex asked me yesterday, Dad, are Dylan and Carter going to our school now? Looks like it, buddy. Cool. Maybe now they'll understand what it's like to be normal kids. Smart kid. Coming up, the tax fraud investigation begins, and Brittany's life gets so much worse. Update number 3, posted 1 week later. Reddit. Remember that tax fraud evidence I mentioned? Well, I decided to gift it to the IRS. The tax bomb. Wednesday morning, I called the IRS fraud hotline and submitted a formal report with all of my documentation. Screenshots of Brittany claiming $54,000 in fake business expenses over 3 years, text messages where she brags about working the system, evidence that her kids were in private school while she claimed homeschooling deductions. The IRS agent I spoke with seemed very interested, especially when I mentioned the dollar amounts involved and the clear documentation. Brittany's worst week ever. Since my last update, Brittany's life has become a beautiful disaster. Monday, GoFundMe got reported and taken down for misleading information. Might have been me, might have been one of you savages. Tuesday, landlord served eviction notice for her apartment. Turns out I was paying $600 a month of her $1,600 rent, and she can't cover the full amount Wednesday. IRS investigation letter arrived asking for records. She called me screaming about how I called the government on her Thursday. Chad filed for separation and is demanding temporary custody of the twins because she's financially unstable. Friday. Her Instagram got suspended for violating terms of service regarding fake business claims. Again, might have been mass reported by unknown parties. The Friday night meltdown. Brittany showed up at my house Friday night at 9 p.m., drunk and completely unhinged. I have security cameras that caught the whole thing. She's pounding on my door screaming, "David, open this fucking door!" I opened it but kept the chain lock on. "What do you want, Brittany? You ruined my life. You called the IRS on me. Chad's trying to take my kids. You ruined your own life. I just stopped paying for it. The twins are asking why we have to live with Grandma. They're asking why Daddy doesn't live with us anymore. Tell them the truth. Tell them Mommy committed tax fraud and Daddy married a gold digger. She tried to force her way in. Let me in. We need to fix this. There's nothing to fix. You made your choices. I'll do anything. I'll pay you back. I'll get a real job. Brittany, you're 35 years old. You should have had a real job 15 years ago. Please, I'm desperate. The IRS is investigating everything. Sounds like a you problem." That's when she really lost it. Jessica would fucking hate what you've become. She'd be disgusted by you using her death to control everyone. I started to close the door, but she jammed her foot in it. "Move your foot or I'm calling the police." "Call them. Tell them how you're destroying your own family." I called 911. She finally left when she heard me give them my address. The Saturday morning reality check. Saturday morning, Chad called me. "David, I need to thank you." "For what?" "For opening my eyes to what I married. I've been living in a fantasy world funded by your money. Brittany's been lying to me about everything. Our finances, your family dynamics, even her business income." He continued, "I thought she was making decent money with her Instagram because she always had cash for shopping and spa days. I didn't know you were funding her entire lifestyle. What changed your mind? When the money stopped, I saw who she really was. She had a complete breakdown when she realized she'd have to get a real job. She told me she'd rather divorce me than work in an office. Chad's filing for custody because Brittany literally cannot afford to take care of them. My parents' wake-up call. Dad started his job at Walmart this week. 67 years old, wearing a blue vest, greeting customers for $13 an hour because they retired early, expecting me to fund their retirement. Mom called crying, "David, your father is humiliated. The neighbors see him at Walmart and ask questions. Maybe you should have thought about that before you enabled Brittany's financial abuse. We didn't know you felt taken advantage of." "You didn't know? Really? You didn't notice that I paid for literally everything while Brittany contributed nothing?" Silence. Coming up, the IRS investigation progresses and Brittany's final desperate attempt to destroy me. Update number 4. Posted 6 weeks later. Holy fucking shit. Reddit. The IRS doesn't mess around when you hand them a gift-wrapped case with a bow on top. The audit results. The IRS has been investigating for 6 weeks now. They've already determined Brittany owes $28,000 in back taxes, penalties, and interest from the fake business deductions. They're also looking into whether she underreported her actual influencer income. But wait, it gets better. They also audited her business and determined she owes another $8,000 because her Instagram income was higher than she reported. Turns out she was hiding cash payments from sponsors and not reporting them. Preliminary IRS bill, $36,000. For someone with $47 in her bank account. Brittany's criminal mastermind plan. This is where Brittany proved she's not just entitled and lazy, but also stupid as fuck. She decided her best move was to try to frame me for financial abuse. She filed a police report claiming I had been financially controlling her and withholding money that belonged to her kids. The officer who took her report called me Wednesday morning. "Officer, Mr. Thompson, I need to ask you some questions about a financial dispute with your sister." Me. "What kind of dispute?" "Officer, she's claiming you've been withholding money that belongs to her children and that you've put them in financial jeopardy." I started laughing. Actually laughing. Me. "Officer, I have documentation of every penny I've given my family for the past 2 years. Would you like to see it?" I showed up at the police station with my binder of evidence. Bank statements, payment records, text messages, photos of receipts. The officer spent an hour going through everything. "Officer, so you're telling me you voluntarily gave your family $267,000 over 18 months, and now you've decided to stop?" Me. "That's correct." "Officer, And your sister thinks you're legally obligated to continue paying for her lifestyle? Me. Apparently. Officer. Sir, this isn't a criminal matter. This is family drama. You have no legal obligation to support your adult sister. The case was closed immediately. But filing a false police report? That's actually a crime. The social media nuclear bomb. Brittany decided her next move was to expose me on social media. She posted a 47-slide Instagram story about how I was financially abusing her family and destroying innocent children's lives. She included screenshots of our text conversations, where she looks absolutely psychotic, photos of Dylan and Carter crying about leaving private school, a video of her crying about being abandoned by family, claims that I was withholding money that legally belonged to her kids. The internet is undefeated. Within 6 hours, people had found screenshots of her old posts showing off her Mercedes, designer handbags, expensive vacations, and luxury lifestyle. They compared them to her new sob story posts. Someone made a TikTok compilation titled, "When the Family ATM Breaks," that got 2.3 million views. Someone else found her old posts where she called my kids exhausting and said I was lucky to be a widower. She got absolutely destroyed in the comments. People calling her a gold digger, a terrible mother, and worse. She ended up deleting her entire Instagram account. Chad's revelation. Chad called me Friday with some interesting information. David, I found something while packing my stuff. Brittany has been lying about way more than just money. What do you mean? She's been cheating on me. I found hotel receipts and text messages going back almost a year. She was using your money to pay for hotel rooms, to fuck some guy she met at a yoga class. I wasn't even surprised at this point. Chad, I'm going for full custody. I've got evidence of the affair, the tax fraud, the financial irresponsibility, everything. My lawyer says it's a strong case, though these things take time. My parents' final humiliation. The foreclosure notice arrived Tuesday. They have 90 days to bring their mortgage current or lose the house. Dad worked 35 hours at Walmart last week and made $455 before taxes. Their mortgage payment is $1,800. They finally understand that early retirement was a luxury they couldn't afford without my money. Mom called me crying again. David, we'll lose everything. You've known this was coming for weeks. What have you done to fix it? Your father applied for jobs, but no one wants to hire someone his age. Maybe you should sell the house and find something you can actually afford. This is our dream home. Dreams cost money, Mom. Your dream was funded by my grief. Coming up, Brittany's desperate final gambit and the ultimate karma. Update number 5, posted 8 weeks later. Reddit, you're not going to believe what this psychotic bitch tried to pull. The school incident. Last Friday, Brittany tried to pick up Alex and Zoe from school without my permission. The school called me at 2:30 p.m. Mr. Thompson, your sister is here trying to pick up your children, but she's not on the authorized list. My blood went cold. Don't let her take them. I'll be right there. When I got to the school, I found Brittany arguing with the principal while Alex and Zoe stood there looking terrified. Brittany, these are my nephews. I'm family. Principal, ma'am, only authorized guardians can pick up students. Me, what the hell are you doing, Brittany? Brittany, we need to talk and you won't answer my calls. Me, so you thought you'd involve my kids? Brittany, they're my family too. The principal intervened. Mrs. Davis, you need to leave school property immediately or we'll call the police. Alex grabbed my hand. Dad, I told her we're not supposed to go with her, but she said you said it was okay. Brittany lied to my kids and tried to manipulate them. I called the police right there. They escorted her off school property, and I filed for a restraining order that afternoon. The restraining order hearing. 2 weeks later, we went to court. I brought my security camera footage of her drunk rampage at my house, documentation of her trying to manipulate my kids, and witness statements from the school. Brittany showed up in a wrinkled dress with her hair unwashed, representing herself because she can't afford a lawyer. The judge took one look at the evidence and granted a temporary restraining order. Brittany has to stay 100 yards away from me, my kids, my house, my work, and their school. When the judge announced his decision, Brittany started screaming, "This is insane! He's the one who destroyed my family! He called the IRS on me! He's ruining innocent children's lives!" Judge, ma'am, control yourself or you'll be held in contempt. Brittany, he turned my own husband against me. He made my kids homeless. Security removed her from the courtroom. The IRS investigation continues. 3 months in, the IRS investigation is still ongoing. They've already determined the $36,000 in back taxes and penalties, but now they're looking into whether this rises to the level of criminal prosecution. An investigator called me. Mr. Thompson, your documentation made this case very straightforward. We're still determining whether to pursue criminal charges, but the civil penalties are already established. The investigator told me that if they do pursue criminal charges, Brittany could face significant fines and potential jail time. Chad's custody battle. Chad got temporary custody of the twins after a month-long process. The judge cited Brittany's financial instability, IRS tax fraud investigation, unstable living situation, inappropriate behavior involving other family members' children. Dylan and Carter are living with Chad in his new apartment. He got a full-time job at a physical therapy clinic and is actually stepping up as a father. Chad texted me, "The boys are asking about Alex and Zoe. They want to have a play date. I told them their mom made some bad choices, and you're protecting your family, but they're still cousins, and that won't change." I respect that Chad is trying to keep the kids' relationships intact despite their mother being a psychopath. Brittany's living situation. With Chad having the kids and my parents facing foreclosure, Brittany is essentially homeless. She's been staying at different friends' houses, but no one wants a broke, unemployed woman with tax problems hanging over her head. She finally got a job at a chain restaurant as a server. After taxes and tips, she's making about $400 a week. Her weekly Starbucks budget used to be $80. My parents' foreclosure. They couldn't make the mortgage payment. The bank is moving forward with foreclosure. They have 60 days to vacate. Dad's been working at Walmart, but at 67 with no real skills, his options are limited. Mom's trying to sell her jewelry and furniture to raise cash. They found a small apartment across town for $900 a month. It's a 2-bedroom in a complex that's definitely not their dream retirement. The restraining order violation. Saturday, Brittany violated the restraining order by showing up at Alex's soccer game. She stood behind the fence screaming that I was keeping her from her family and that the other parents should know I'm financially abusing relatives. Other parents started filming her meltdown. Someone posted it on the local Facebook mom groups with the caption, "Unhinged woman screaming at children's soccer game." It's gone viral in our town. Everyone now knows Brittany as the crazy lady who had a breakdown at a kid's soccer game. The police arrested her for violating the restraining order. She spent the weekend in jail because she couldn't make the $500 bail. Coming up, the final chapter where everything comes crashing down and the begging reaches epic proportions. Final update, posted 6 months later. Reddit, it's been 6 months since I cut off my family, and I'm ready to tell you how this nuclear war ended. Spoiler alert, I didn't just win, I completely annihilated them. Brittany's federal case resolution, the IRS criminal investigation concluded last month. Brittany ended up taking a plea deal to avoid prison time. She got 18 months federal probation, $38,000 in fines and back taxes, which she obviously can't pay, 150 hours community service, permanent criminal record. Her tax debt will follow her forever. The IRS can garnish any future wages, seize any assets, and take any tax refunds for the rest of her life. The custody resolution. After a 4-month legal battle, Chad got permanent primary custody. The judge's ruling was brutal. The mother has demonstrated financial irresponsibility, criminal behavior, emotional instability, and has attempted to inappropriately involve minor children in adult family conflicts. She poses a risk to the children's emotional and financial well-being. Brittany gets supervised visitation every other Saturday for 4 hours. At a state facility, with a social worker present. Dylan and Carter are thriving with Chad. They're in the same school as Alex and Zoe now, and the 4 cousins have actually become close friends. Chad brings them to Alex's soccer games and Zoe's dance recitals. My parents' complete collapse. They lost the house to foreclosure 3 months ago. All their equity, gone. They moved into a shitty 2-bedroom apartment in the worst part of town. Dad is still working at Walmart at 67, greeting customers for $13 an hour. Mom got a part-time job at a craft store making $11 an hour. Together, they make about $1,600 per month. Their early retirement dream became a nightmare of working retail jobs in their late 60s. The begging campaign. About 2 months ago, the desperation reached peak levels. Text messages from Brittany sent from a burner phone since I blocked her. "David, please, I'm sorry, I know I fucked up, but I can't live like this. I'll do anything, just please help me. I'm living in a studio apartment, above a nail salon. I'll pay you back, I swear. I'll get a better job and pay back every penny. Please don't let me end up on the streets, I'm scared and alone." Voicemails from Mom. "David, your father is talking about suicide. He can't handle working at Walmart anymore. Please, we need help. We'll do anything you want. We'll apologize to Alex and Zoe. We'll treat them better. Just please help us. I haven't eaten in 2 days because we spent our food money on rent. Please, son, we're desperate." Dad's email, sent from the Walmart break room. "David, I was wrong. I was a terrible father and grandfather. I let Brittany manipulate us into treating your kids badly. I'm ashamed of what I became. Please give me a chance to make it right with Alex and Zoe. I don't care about money anymore. I just want my family back. The face-to-face begging. Last month, they all showed up at my house together. Brittany, my parents, even Chad with the twins. I watched through my security cameras as they stood on my porch, looking like refugees. I opened the door but didn't invite them in. Brittany spoke first, and she looked like she'd aged 10 years. Hollow cheeks, gray skin, wearing clothes that were obviously from Goodwill. Brittany, David, I fucked up. I fucked up everything. I was entitled and selfish, and I treated Alex and Zoe like shit. I'm sorry. Mom. We all failed. We're sorry. Dad, I'll work until I die to make this right. Just please forgive us. Brittany, I'll sign over my parental rights. I'll disappear. Just please help my parents. They don't deserve this because of my mistakes. For a moment, I almost felt bad for them. Almost. Me. You want forgiveness? Here's what you destroyed. I pulled out my phone and showed them a video from last weekend. Alex scoring a goal at soccer while Zoe cheered from the sidelines. Both kids laughing and happy. Me. See how happy they are? That's because the toxic people who made them feel worthless are gone from their lives. Brittany started crying. Please, I'll do anything. Me. You already did everything. You showed me who you really are. I pointed to Dylan and Carter. Boys, your mom treated Alex and Zoe badly for a long time and excluded them from family activities. Do you think that was okay? Both boys shook their heads. Dylan said, No, Uncle David. That was mean. Me. That's right. It was mean. And mean people face consequences. My final terms. I looked at all of them. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to leave my property and never contact me again. Brittany, you're going to focus on getting your life together. So maybe someday you can be a real mother to those boys. Mom and Dad, you're going to figure out how to survive on your own, like adults. Brittany, we'll starve without your help. Me. You should have thought about that before you treated my children like garbage. Dad. David, please. Me. No. You had 18 months to be decent grandparents. You chose Brittany's lifestyle over my kids' emotional well-being. Live with that choice. I went back inside and locked the door. They stood there for another 10 minutes before finally leaving. Where we are now, Alex and Zoe are thriving. They're confident, happy kids who no longer ask why Grandma and Grandpa don't love them. We've built our own family traditions with people who actually care about us. I've been dating someone new. Sarah, a teacher at their school who lost her husband to cancer 2 years ago. She has a daughter Zoe's age, and the three girls have become inseparable. Sarah understands grief and rebuilding, and she treats Alex and Zoe like they're her own. We're planning a Disney trip for spring break, all 5 of us. Our new family. Brittany is working as a server at Applebee's and living in a studio apartment above a nail salon. She's lost 30 pounds and looks like she's aged a decade. The twins visit her every other Saturday for 4 hours under supervision. My parents are still working retail and living in poverty. Dad's diabetes is getting worse from the stress, and Mom's developed anxiety attacks. Chad has become a good father and is building a stable life for the boys. He's dating someone new, a nurse who's great with kids. The final lesson. Some of you might think I went too far, that I was cruel to completely destroy their lives over family drama. But here's what you need to understand. They didn't just exclude my kids from a vacation. They spent 18 months showing my children that they were worthless. They took my money while making Alex and Zoe feel like burdens. My kids lost their mother. They didn't deserve to lose their extended family too. But my relatives made that choice when they decided luxury was more important than love. I sleep perfectly at night knowing that Alex and Zoe will never again have to wonder why they're not good enough for their own family. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even. It's building a better life without the people who tried to destroy you. Final update. Brittany texted me yesterday from a new number. I hope you're happy. You destroyed everything. I texted back, I am happy. Thanks for asking. Edit. For everyone asking about updates, this is really the end. They're all blocked on everything. Chad and I co-parent the cousin relationships, but the toxic adults are permanently out of our lives. Sometimes the best ending is just peace. Edit 2. To everyone saying I should have helped my parents. They made their choice when they enabled Brittany's abuse of my children for 18 months. Consequences have no expiration date. Edit 3. Someone asked what happened to Brittany's affair partner. Turns out he ghosted her the second the money dried up and the tax investigation started. Shocking, I know.